What's up, guys? I'm in Utah. I did a little road trip. I've been in quarantine for over 2 months and laid off from work for the whole summer, so I had to get out and go do some shooting. I'm here in Utah in an undisclosed location, and I'm taking pictures with Aaron King, and we're going to be doing some Milky Way pictures tonight over this canyon right here. Really cool place, and we're going to keep it a secret because he doesn't want it to get too populated with photographers, so I'm going to respect his wishes and not disclose that information. Now, it's been extremely windy and dusty, as you can see from my van, and we're going to be battling the wind a little bit. However, around 9-10 o'clock it's supposed to die down, and I can start taking pictures of my foreground during astronomical twilight. Since I am dealing with a canyon, it's going to be a little tricky because I can't light paint it or anything like that, so I have to do some really long exposures or shoot at astronomical twilight to help me illuminate that canyon so you can see some detail. Ooh. Sorry, that dust is going in my eye. I got sand in my teeth. That sand is going into my eyeball. Sorry, guys. But I'm going to grab some plastic bags and throw some rocks in them just to weight down my tripods tonight. Even though the wind is going to die down, I don't want a gust of wind knocking my camera over the edge. And that's fucking loud. What's up, everybody? Yes. Say hi to Aaron. You probably can't hear us because it's way too windy. Hey, guys! I'm Aaron King!
Milky Way photography skill, Milky Way photography. I haven't figured out what my new YouTube channel name is called. Photog Adventures is how you know me, or if you're Enterprise, you say Photo G Adventures. Aaron at Photo G Adventures? No, I'm not Photo G.
I'll post all his information down below on my video, so don't worry about that.
Yes!
Alright, guys, since it's really, really windy, what I'm doing is I'm taking these plastic bags that I had in my van and I'm filling them up with rocks. This is going to hold down my tripod to make sure it doesn't fall over the side of this edge here. Because unfortunately, the wind is blowing over the edge, so I don't want to lose my gear. So I'm going to weight down these rocks, and I might even tie off the tripod to another rock just to be on the safe side. But a lot of this wind is going to die down later on as the night progresses, so it shouldn't get too bad. And hopefully this doesn't sway too much. I could always tie this down as well, and that'll prevent it from swaying back and forth and getting any vibration with my camera gear. So hopefully I get some more footage in before it gets too dark. But right now I'm going to get to work on filling my other bag and setting up the locations that I plan on shooting. What's up, guys? I'm here in Escalante, Utah, nearing the end of my trip. I've been road tripping out here for almost 2 weeks now. I got 2 nights here, and then I have 1 more night in Monument Valley, and then I'm going to work my way back to New Jersey. Now tonight I'm planning on going down to Devil's Garden, and then the second night I'm going to go to Dancehall Rock. And I'm going to meet up with Aaron King on both nights, so that's going to be really fun to have somebody to photograph with. And he has a truck to bring me down this road because to get to these locations it's really bumpy and rocky, and I think I'm going to attempt to go to Devil's Garden in this van and hopefully not hurt it too much. And then the second night at Dancehall Rock, it's a lot farther of a drive, so he rented a pickup truck and he's going to take me down there, so I really appreciate that. I already had some mishaps on this trip with this van. I'll show you guys. Let's see here. you might be able to see it here. Let's see. I don't know if you could see that. Probably not. Probably can't see this, but there's a nice little crack, and that's from a big truck that was passing on the other side of the lane, and he just kicked up a rock and dinged my my windshield, so I had to get that fixed in Moab. And then the second day we were driving out here, I had a good chunk of tire in the middle of the road on I-80 West, and I couldn't avoid it. It went underneath the car and ripped down my splash guard. So let's see if you can see that. So this piece right here got ripped down. I had to tie it up right there. So hopefully it holds. Until I get back to New Jersey and I could put a new splash guard up there. So I'm gonna have to order one of those. Luckily they're not too expensive, like $50. And luckily my insurance covered the crack in the windshield. So yeah, this van's been taking a lot of abuse. You can see it's all dirty and dusty. And I can't wait to get home and just give this thing a nice cleaning, power wash it, get all the sand out of there. It's starting to kind of lock up my sliding door, so I had to WD-40 it and clean it all out. So it is what it is. The van's holding up, but definitely taking some abuse. Now I haven't really vlogged too much on this trip, and that's because I've been really focused on testing out my new gear. This is really the first time I'm getting some amazing Milky Way shots with my new Z cameras, the Z6 and the Z7, and I'm also testing out the 15mm f2 Laowa and my 20mm 1.8S lens. I'm really pushing them to their limits and seeing how that quality holds up, because I made that switch a few months back, and I just want to make sure it was the right switch, and I think it is. I'll show you guys some shots and some time lapses that I took on this trip, and I think you'll be very impressed. So I'm gonna meet up with Aaron later, and I'll touch back with you guys then. All right, so here I am at Devil's Garden scouting out some locations for tonight. I plan on meeting up with Aaron King, and we're gonna photograph the Milky Way. It's supposed to be a clear night sky, and I also might do a star trail as well. I brought 3 cameras, so that way I could do a time lapse with one, a star trail with another, and then my 3rd camera I could walk around doing different compositions throughout the night. So that's the game plan, and he's not supposed to be here until a little later, probably around 10ish. So I'm here at sunset. That way I could, I've never been here, he has, so that way I could kind of look around and find some compositions that I'll like. So that's what we're doing right now. I really like this archway, so I might actually try and use this for a star trail, since I think this faces north, or pretty close to north, underneath here. So that'd be kind of cool. A lot of cool rock formations. It's definitely gonna be a little challenging trying to find a good one that's gonna work. But yeah, this place is pretty cool. Pain in the ass to get to. The road in is really bumpy and rocky. It's recommended to use the SUV or some type of 4x4. But I did it with my van, which is just front wheel drive and not really much clearance. It's about a 12-mile drive to get here on that rocky road. I wouldn't really take my van any farther on this road though. It's pretty bad. So that's just something to consider if you ever come out this way. Got a pretty sunset right now, and I did some exploration. I think I found my 3 spots that I want to photograph for tonight. Let me show you guys what I have on the agenda. All right, so this location behind me, I think this is going to be for my still images. What I like to do is set up my tripod and do some long exposures and some light painting on all these different rock formations, all these hoodoos, as you can see here. So I'll probably individually light each one, and then maybe do a couple accent lights in the back there, and then I might even throw myself in the shot as well. And the Milky Way should be coming up somewhere in between them. and going across the sky in this general direction. So it should work out really well. So this is location 1 for the still images. And now I'm gonna work my way to the Star Trail spot. So I really like this spot right here. It doesn't work going in this direction really, even though this tree and arch are really cool. I plan on photographing this general direction. This, I believe, is north, somewhere in this vicinity, so I should be able to find a North Star and place it somewhere maybe in this window, this natural window here created by the arch, and do a star trail. So that way it's kind of close to my other shooting location, so I don't have to go far to check on my camera. And it should, you know, it shouldn't pick up any stray light from my light painting over there because it's lower and it's hidden by all these other hoodoos. So this will work really nicely for a star trail. Oh man, the sky's lighting up. And then the last location that I'm gonna head to for a Milky Way time lapse is a little bit further down the trail. Now I'm not sure if Aaron plans on photographing this spot, so that kind of might mess things up if I'm doing a time lapse and if he wants to light paint it. But I do plan on hitting it with some with a light panel all night and taking that time lapse. So maybe he'll just be happy with that light and he could jump in on some of those photos, but we'll see. So yeah, this is the spot where I would like to do a time lapse. Again, the Milky Way should be coming up and behind these hoodoos in this general vicinity. And I'll probably set up a constant light on one of these rocks over here to the right, or hidden behind a tree, just to kind of keep it out of the frame. But it should light these up nicely to give me some contrast, and I'll get the Milky Way going across the sky. So it should be pretty awesome. Now I just want to run back to the car, grab my camera, and take a couple pictures of these beautiful orange clouds. I don't know if you guys could see that little speck there in the sky. That is a crescent moon. So that's going to be out for a couple hours before the Milky Way. I think when that sets, the Milky Way should be rising. But the good thing is I could actually use this to my advantage right now to help me do some of my foregrounds. And I might not have to light paint as much. It should be a nice soft light because it is a crescent moon. So yeah, it's gonna light all these little hoodoos up really nicely. I'm still waiting for Aaron to get here. I'm gonna start grabbing my gear, bringing it out into the field and setting up in all the locations that I plan on shooting. The parking lot's empty, so I don't have to worry about anybody messing with my gear or shining flashlights or anything like that. So yeah, I'm gonna put them out there and get everything all ready to go. I think I'll start doing the star trail right now, and then I'm going to start doing my foreground shots for the first set of hoodoos that I showed you guys. And the time lapse for the Milky Way I'm not going to start until later tonight because the Milky Way comes up around 11:30, so I'll probably start it around 11 and let it run for 2 or 3 hours. So Aaron has showed up, guys. What's up?
And I got my beard trimmed, so if you saw me in the other video, my beard's all trimmed now. So it's nice, isn't it?
So
it's nice.
He has a bunch of great, yeah, it's very nice. Very nice, very nice. He has a bunch of great spots. He's going to take me on a tour all over Devil's Garden. So I'm super excited. I already have a time lapse going for the North Star, and we're going to go hunt the Milky Way once it starts coming over the horizon. So stay tuned for that.
Yes.
What's up, everybody? This is day 2 on our adventure in Escalante. I'm still with Aaron right there and Mary Beth, and we're at Dancehall Rock. And what we plan on doing tonight is lowering a light into this section right here to illuminate this tree, and then we're gonna photograph the Milky Way coming up. So that's on the agenda tonight. Really cool spot here, very difficult to get to. The road is really bad and takes about hour and a half to drive out here, but once you get here, some interesting compositions. A little windy right now, so hopefully it's not messing up the audio. So this is definitely one of the most popular photographing locations here. I'm sure you've seen this shot before, and this will be my first time doing it, so I'm really excited to check this off my bucket list. All right, so the light is getting nice and soft right now. I'm about to start setting up soon to do some of my foreground shots in a little bit during astronomical twilight. Now I like this composition right here. I'm gonna do a portrait orientation shot right here, and the Milky Way is gonna be somewhere on an angle behind this tree. And then what we're gonna do is change to a 20mm lens and come up here on this hill. Let's go over here. And we're gonna take another shot from up here. Might do a panorama as well and get a Milky Way going across the sky somewhere in this general direction over to here while this is lit up. So that's a game plan for tonight for compositions. And I also brought my star tracker, so I'm probably gonna be using that as well. That's why I want to get some of these foreground compositions done during twilight, and that way I could put my tracker on and get some really crisp, clean shots of the Milky Way as it comes over this mountain range. All right, so we're setting up our light right now. Got Aaron about to tie off the paracord. We were about to use fishing line. It was a little too light of a test.
Too wimpy.
Too wimpy. It was gonna snap on us, and this light is a little too heavy. So we're just using an LED panel light, and once we tie it off with this paracord, we're gonna lower it into the hole right there. It's kind of hard to see.
Here. Go.
There we go. And it's gonna work really nicely with our Milky Way photos tonight. So let's start tying this off.
The meticulous undoing of the thread.
Is that long enough, you think?
Yeah, it's definitely long enough.
Okay.
Definitely long enough, and we can get that far enough out of frame, we'll be good.
All right, cool.
So you got the end right there. You want to tie it off?
Yeah, you just set this down.
You want to have it down when you tie it off? Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, give it a good like
Double, triple knot.
clove hash over all that, you know, so like you really holding on to all the components there. That, yeah, that's great.
We'll just do one more, and then we'll tape it down.
Yep. Sweet.
All right, so Aaron's taping it down just to keep this knot from moving and coming loose.
Little
And
guarantee.
Yep.
The gaffer's guarantee.
so do the little extra work, save your lights.
And don't litter it in the bottom of this thing.
All right, let me grab my bag. I'll put this with the nest.
Yeah, I think I had it on too light of a setting, so I'm also going to gaffer the battery in.
All right.
So that has no chance of coming out on us.
Yeah, we have a pretty big battery, so we're gonna tape that down as well, and the power setting too, because you might hit the rock on the way down. It's a big guy.
Big like night moth.
The truth.
So you're preferring out, you think?
Yeah, I think you have a low enough of a setting that should be fine facing outward. So we're gonna go all the way to the bottom. That way it's not dangling and putting too much stress on the line, and so we don't lose the light.
Yeah. Luckily with your giant, cable rope here, it's definitely gonna have no trouble keeping the light on there.
Cool. Now we can just angle it however we need.
Okay.
So let's kill our lights. Cool. I don't know if you guys could see this, but we have a nice illumination on the light. And if it's too bright, we could always try and flip the light to face the rock. But I think it'll be fine because I'm going to do long exposures at a lower ISO. Do you want to tape off your gaffers?
You got the gaffers?
Yeah, I got it.
Sweet.
And then the bag. Is this the longest part before it's all tangled up?
Yeah, pretty much. You want to try and untangle it some more?
There's just either going to be one little spot right here that's easy to clone.
Yeah.
Or
Do you want to weight it down with that? Or not so extra, not that much weight.
but that'll be good.
Okay.
That'll be good.
So we might have to clone this out if it gets in our shot when we go to do a Milky Way panorama later. All right, let's take some more foreground shots.